Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn your notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for the love, the support you all showing me here with. I am grateful, and you all are super sweet. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about a video a woman made about Trump and Biden, and she was asking, why do black people think that Trump is, the best candidate than Biden? This is what black people think. And I really don't know black people. I don't know. I am just saying. I really do not know that black people really think that Trump is better than Biden and all that. Why do you people think like that? And I am going to say that I know most black people because according to statistics from what I saw, I found out that black people, both men and women, voluntarily voted for Biden to be the president. They do not want Trump to be the president. And I also knew that some people also voted for Biden, not because they like Biden. It was just because they are anti-Trump and all that. And I am asking, why would you all think that, Trump is better than Biden? Why would you want him to be the president with all the indictment, with everything that is surrounding him? It's just a whole lot surrounding him, and I personally feel that he does not also have the best interest of black people at heart, because I am always for people that will that will make things happen for my own people. So I see a lot of people talking about money. Trump is ready and willing to spend money, give money and all that. I think just not giving money is not the main. I think good governance, somebody that will that will do the right thing, that would be for my people, that wants the progress of my own people. I think it's beyond giving checks and the rest of it. Don't you all think so? So straight up, let's get into this video and see what people are saying about it. So let's get into it.
Why do black people, in your opinion, think that Trump was better for us than Biden?
I ain't figured it out. I don't know.
I hear black folks say because Trump gave us money, Trump gave us checks.
Now let me tell you. Now he was good. Now listen, I'm gonna give Trump some props right here. The only time you'll ever hear from me. He is a master at propaganda. So people don't know that he was fighting. So when the stimulus checks came out, he was fighting to make sure that his actual signature was on the checks. People probably, they could have had their money earlier, but Trump was fighting to make sure that his name was on that check so people would be perceiving that the money came from him when it didn't. That was an act of Congress, number one. Same thing with the food boxes in the midst of COVID. He had to make sure it was a letter and all the food boxes from him. Like he didn't went into his own garden and picked this stuff for them. And he takes advantage of what people don't know, which is they don't understand how government functions. He is a master at propaganda.
Now, I encourage everyone to go back and watch that interview because I think there were so many great points made. And let me just say, I am not here to shame people of color for voting for Trump because I understand that it's a lot more nuanced and complicated. It would be privileged of me as someone who is very much aware of the political implications and the intersectionality of a presidency like Trump has, particularly on communities of color, for me to push that on other people who may not be aware, or for them, there are more pressing issues that are at the top of their agenda. That being said, I think the point that that interviewer made in the clip that I stitched is that Trump is a master at propaganda and marketing and a manipulator. And we have seen this throughout the course of his entire life. He has been able to make people believe a narrative about him that if they were to do their due diligence, they would know it was false. At the same time, I think what Trump was able to tap into at a very unique time in our country's history, because of the divisiveness, because of so many people feeling like they haven't gotten anything in past administrations. And we could debate that, right? We intellectually could say that there was this policy and this practice and this transformative change. But at the core, there are people who do not feel their lives dramatically changed in a number of elections that have happened over the course of their lifetime. And so with that being said, he was able to tap into so many people's desire to finally have a person who was speaking straight to them, who was talking about the corruption in Washington that they had felt for so long. He was able to tap into, particularly for people of color, he was able to give them someone to hate too. And for many people of color, it was immigrants who I've been in so many conversations with Black people, particularly Black people in the South, who will say to you, well, immigrants are coming in and taking our jobs. We all know immigrants are not taking your jobs. We know this. We know immigrants are not lowering wages. Those are corporations. At the same time, people who are struggling and have been struggling for so long, Trump finally gave them someone to channel their energy and their hatred to. In addition to that, Trump was able to also be the savior for many people at a time where the entire country and the entire world was on lockdown and people had to figure out a way to feed their families. And Trump wrote them checks, right? And it feels like Trump gave that money out of his own pocket for so many people. He gave them a narrative, he gave them an enemy, and he gave them a savior. Now, I will say, and I've always said, that elections are not about choosing your savior. It is about choosing your opponent. At the same time, I think it would behoove the Democratic Party to finally develop a more marketable narrative and dream reality that will change the lives of more people than just the most privileged within our society. You can't say that you are a party for the people, and yet we are continuing to create pathways for corporations to suck the very lives out of each and every one of us. We continue to have high rates of unemployment. We continue to see minimum wage being so freaking low that it's not even trending with inflation. We have a housing crisis that is creating more homeless people than we've ever seen before. And now we have millions of people who are going to have to figure out how they're going to pay back their student loans. And yeah, we can get some of those folks out of debt by clearing their debt due to the number of programs that Joe Biden has put forth that has enabled for a lot of people debt to be wiped out. But if we are not changing how universities and colleges are charging astronomical costs for a degree that is now required in order for you to get any sort of job within this country, we're going to have this problem again 5, 10, 15 years down the line. People are paying $250,000 for a bachelor's degree, $500,000 to $1 million for a master's degree. In industries where they're not making more than $45,000, $60,000, $70,000, and more than 40% of their income is going towards housing. This is not sustainable. And the problem that we are facing is that Trump is giving voters who feel like they are not being heard, that they're not being supported, an enemy, a message, and he's appearing to them as their savior, as someone who is going to provide them actual, legitimate, tangible money for them to be able to feed their families and keep the lights on.
Why do Black people, in your opinion, think that Trump was better for us than Biden?
I ain't faded.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Valentina. I have arisen from the dead with a stomach virus. But no, seriously, she illustrates it really well. But a lot of Black people did not touch their first man until Trump was in office. Point blank's very simple, actually. And of course, you know, a lot of Black people really aren't feeling Joe Biden very much because, you know, during the election process, you know, Joe Biden very colorfully had said, you know, if you vote for Trump, you're not Black. And I was like, oh. Not to mention, like, with, like, a lot of the things that Joe Biden had built his campaign on, you know, like the student debt relief and all that fun stuff that, you know, not his fault, but those things got shut down. But guess what went through? That stimulus. Guess what went through? That unemployment. Guess what went through? Those PPP loans. And if y'all have noticed, a lot of our problems can be solved with more money.
Why do Black people, in your opinion, think that Trump was better for us than Biden?
I ain't faded.
And this is not to give Trump props in any type of way, but half of the world didn't even know who Epstein was until Trump. And like I said, it's not to give props to Trump at all, but when all of those people stormed the White House, half of them were doctors, lawyers, people in high places, okay? We was able to identify these people, pull their name up, pull their address up, and make them lose their jobs. Any rally that anybody has had, any I don't care what it is. If it was a riot, I don't care what it is. Concerning Trump, he made these people come to the forefront so you could see exactly who these people are, so you could put a face to these racist people, okay? And then do something about it. Weinstein and all his friends, even though Trump was friends with him, we wouldn't have known who that man was. We wouldn't have known how deep the rabbit hole went, okay? Because we was just sitting up here listening to conspiracy theorists, and the conspiracy theorists have been knowing, but regular people didn't know anything about this person. But when Trump got famous, all his best friends got famous. So we was able to call all his friends out, all these dirty ass out. Okay, let's be clear. So no, we're not parading Trump around like, oh, he's the best thing that ever happened to us. But Trump shed light on a lot of stuff and a lot of people that didn't nobody even know about.
Why do Black people, in your opinion, think that Trump was better for us than Biden?
I don't personally think Trump is better than Biden, but I see why a lot of Black people think that Trump is better than Biden. Go back and watch that video. But the lady that's sitting on the podcast with Amanda Seals, she explained it perfectly. It's propaganda, and it's a marketing tactic that Donald Trump does to appeal to the Black audience. He pretty much put his name on everything, whether it's the checks, whether it's the food that's going out to the people. Whatever he needs to do to make himself look good, that's what he's gonna do. A lot of politicians do this with their campaign. They don't do nothing. They spend thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars on campaigns, not doing nothing but just showing their face and signing it off. That's it. I've always said this. Politicians are like lawyers. They know how to get around people. They're just like lawyers. I said what I said.
Why do Black people, in your opinion, think that Trump was better for us than Biden?
I ain't figured it out.
What are you talking about? Black people predominantly voted for Joe Biden. Where is this coming from? Black people, 87% Biden, 12% Trump.
Why do Black people, in your opinion, think that Trump was better for us than Biden?
I ain't figured it out.
Micro versus macro. Hit me out. A lot of people are realizing that, hey, before Trump ran in, the 2012 election, before he ran, he was a businessman. He was pure entertainment. And he was loved by the Black people. Despite him not, whatever issues he had with the Trump Towers or whatever and Black residents and everything like that, fucked up. I agree with you. He shouldn't have did it. I don't fuck with him for that. He not my homie. He just entertainment. I led the video with that. He is just entertainment. Now, let's shift the focus over to Kamala and Joe Biden. Now, I can get into their politics, but both of them were politicians. Career politicians. And since they were actual politicians who actually sit in the seat and create laws, Kamala was a DA, right? District attorney. You should definitely look up her history, man. For real. She ain't one of us. Harriet Tubman would have left her. Harriet Tubman would have had smoke. Her and Sojourner. They would have had to see her behind the big house. You hear me? So if you look at Trump with his Trump Towers and whatever he did at that low-level business level, we got issue with it. We can take issue with it, and rightfully so. But if we look at Kamala and Joe Biden, we see the macro. Their decisions and their actions that directly negatively affected our community, both of them were complicit in it. They actually took part in it on a macro level. It affected the populace versus just the people that chose to try to get in on Trump Towers. There are many other apartment buildings and residencies out here other than Trump Towers. Trump ain't the only one. But he wasn't in no position to write legislation or execute said legislation until he got elected. So who had the longest career of actually fucking you over the major way with no Vaseline? And then gonna turn around and piss on you and tell you that it's rain. Ain't that some shit? I ain't Republican nor Democrat. But I do know that the Democratic ballot right now ain't it. The Republican battle ain't it. I say that we just go the next 4 years, 8 years, and just tell all of them to get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Done playing the game. Because your vote don't fucking count. Electoral college, as long as electoral college is still there, your vote don't fucking count. I love y'all. Y'all stay safe.
Why do Black people, in your opinion, think that Trump was better for us than Biden?
I ain't faded.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, cause black people love to be bought by the white man, and at that, she's right. Trump did just fight to put his name on them, but y'all gotta realize the things these presidents be fighting for, it's not under they say so. It's through the Constitution. It's never what they want. But at the end of the day, Trump was a better president than Biden, because Biden's sitting here lying to motherfuckers and shit like that when Trump was just openly keeping that shit real. But you see, it's the free money that has black people in the chokehold. Because we all know that pandemic was the worst time for a lot of people. A lot of people lost their job. A lot of people couldn't feed their family. A lot of people couldn't pay bills. We all know during the pandemic, the bills kept coming, but a lot of people got just laid off. So you feel what I'm saying? At that, them damn stimulus checks, they getting taxed for it. It wasn't really free money. I guess it was free because you didn't work for it. You got other countries getting $2,000 a month. Whole time, y'all was getting that shit one time. So I mean, if you want to consider Trump a better president than Biden because he gave a stimulus check, then so fucking be it. But as an entirety, like the realness, not sugarcoating it to the people, I would say Trump is better. Biden's still lying. He's been trying to get students that loan forgiveness for what? His whole time being in office. He's not gonna get that through. Cannot get that through. I did not mean to say Constitution. I meant to say Congress. That's my fault.
I hear Black folks say like, oh, because Trump gave us money, Trump gave us checks.
Oh, now let me tell you now.
He just gave you your own money back and you happy he gave you some money. No, that's your own goddamn money. That's your own goddamn money. You paid the taxes.
So this is all I got from the stitches, and I'm a little bit like confused. Like, why would you people? Okay, I don't know. I am not like You all have your preferences and all that. Who you want to be the next president and who you do not want to be the next president. But why would you want Trump to be the next president? I mean, it's just a question. It's just a harmless question. And I know for sure, like from what I have read from the statistic and all that, a lot of Black people voted for Biden. Not because they they are really in for Biden, but because they are anti-Trump. That's why they voted for Biden. But then with all this going on, I mean, why would some people think like, Trump is better than Biden? I mean, is it a propaganda or there is something like, we do not know or we do not understand and the rest of it? Because I know Trump is more of make America great and the rest of it. And then a lot of Black people are asking, when was it really great for especially Black people? And it was never great for Black people. And trying to say make America great again is like taking Black people back to where they used to be and the rest of it. And I really do want to know. I want to know, what do you think? I mean, you think Trump is or do you think Trump should be the next president? And with all the indictment and everything that has been going on around him and all the I mean, there are so many things going on around him. And so many horrifying stories that I don't even want to say here. But why would you think he's going to be a good candidate for presidential election? And I see a lot of people, okay, there is this video circulating around, people saying that he was just such a good person and he was an ex. Some people are calling him our president. He was an ex-president. He's no longer anybody's president at this point in time. But would you vote for him if he's qualified to be the next president or something? Like, would you vote for Trump? I don't think I would like to vote for him if I were, I don't think so, but let me know. I mean, your opinion is, I am not fighting anybody. If you say you are going to vote for Trump, that is what you want. I mean, politically, you are supposed to choose who you want to be your leader, and it is your right, that is something nobody will take away from you. So this is where I am going to draw the curtain. Thank you so much for the support, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.